Okay, some other options we can look. It is not displayed directly, like you can see right here. We have it our windows for the object browser, camera, world browser. We have it our tabs. The other one is kind of hiding right below it, not displayed. It is animations browser. So let's click on our animation, and I currently will disable, click out of the wizard. We'll look on the wizard in the other ones, and you notice right here we have our animation timeline pop up. The animation timeline, it's where you can set keyframe and modify animations for the many objects. Sometimes this timeline will pop up automatically. If you loaded pre-animated objects, the timeline will enable. As well, if you start work with particles that require animations, it will create timeline. There also, you'll notice right here we have 3 triangles. So let's look closer what we have here. These triangles will allow us look on properties, spline, lines, the curves of animations, and also pre-render options. So as example, let's create a very fast sphere. Okay, I'll take sphere, put it right on the corner, drop down. I'm going to right click on with a keyframe, key kind of icon, and you notice it says after keyframe, add keyframe to all properties, add position in specific keyframes. So what I want to do, I will click to add keyframe to all properties. Right here you can notice it's created keyframe for me for my sphere. Next I can scroll to specific time, and if you go on a side, just right click, you can see right here you can select what show time you want. Currently it's set in seconds. You can switch to SMTP or switch to the frames, whatever you prefer better. Currently I prefer in a second, and the reason is why, because sometimes I will render my animations for the PAL system, which is about 25 frames, or for NTSC 30 frames if I work for television, or if I work for the film it will be 24 frames. So in many cases I prefer work with seconds and let Vue after handle amount of the frames when I start rendering. Okay, we also can play in animations from this pop-up menu. Set current time when we want to move, scale animations, go to specific keyframe, delete it, add, modify it, destroy object animations. This destroy also can be applied to icon on in object animation browser. Zoom timeline, start curve options. So we have all these options. We'll look more when we start to work with animations. Overall, if you want to zoom in, you want to press control button, hold down and right mouse click, and you can zoom in and out of your timeline. Okay. The next, also right here you notice we have it open the browser, object browser, where we can see all properties that can be animated. Not every properties and all objects can be animated. So right here when you extend you can see directly. Okay, so let's move to 2 seconds, and I'll take this object, move up and maybe a little bit more right here. You notice now we have a line which represent our timeline. We also right here after keyframe is enabled, so it's clicked. I'll move to number 3. Okay, let me disable after keyframe on this point. I'll move my object over a little bit below, or maybe right here. Okay, notice no keyframe detected because I did not create, so I can click to enable automatically or go back and enable after keying. Right here we have it properties modified, and you notice we don't change size, twist, any of those properties modified, only the position. So I'll go on position and I'll start clicking. When I click on position, you notice in the curves now my curves is displaying for modification. So right here I can modify them. Again, we can do linear, select smooth or other ones, and those is a little bit more advanced, and we'll look on this in our animations when we start working with this as well on some additional properties on the side. The last tab right here, it is kind of pre-animated, so preview. And to do here, we can just click on generated preview or right click on preview options. Currently, I just want to keep it default, so I'll select. It's take a little bit time till it's pre-render those ones. So okay, right here you can see our animations pre-render. Again, this is pre-render on a lowest quality, but just overall it's help you to preview your animations of the object, so you kind of know, oh, my camera is too low, let me move up. So it's kind of helpful tool. Again, depending on complexity of your scenery, preview is can take a longer time. Most time I actually don't use it personally, so I will use it curves, because many times curves I need control a bit closer, and the properties as well. But then when you don't want it, on the basics you can just disable. Keyframes, it's easy. You can just select keyframe to enable disable. To move between keyframe, you can use it next keyframe step, or you can jump to beginning, ending. You can also play your animations or stop. One thing kind of recommend to notice, and this will work more important when we start work with particles. However, is your views or viewport is enabled, that will give it priority for the view to render animation list. For example, if I enable my preview camera, okay, and I'm going right here, you notice it is animated there. So if I enable my front view, it will work right in my front view. Okay, so it's depend on what way you want to view. You want to re-enable this. So right here is our animation tab. You can cycle between the animation tab by clicking an icon. Right here you can see. When you do next time animation created, the animation wizard does not open. However, you right click to go back to your animation wizard, and we'll look on those ones closer when we work with animations inside the view.